What's going on, my people? It is your guy Hopeful, and bringing you some more Mugen League action. In this fighting game league, we put AI control characters against each other in 2v2 matches. This video will contain sets 1 and 2 of Wave 9, which means the time has come to Mugen League. Maybe 2 teams at least, minimum. So in the background, Shuriken Shadow charging up, Bartholomew Kuma being attempted inside, erupted Sakura and Naruto for a big Rasengan. Mugen League where we put Mugen League, where we put air control Mugen characters against each other in a league-based format. Before we get into the first set of the video, I would like to show you guys the updated league table right now. And this is the table at the end of Wave 8, or at the beginning of Wave 9. The 2 teams that will be doing battle in this video will be Sonic versus Allied Shinobi Forces 1. For the first game, Team Sonic will be represented by Knuckles and Tails. A.S.F.1 will be represented by Yugito and Killer B. The stage will be Corda Coliseum. Now, Team Sonic are currently in 10th place in the league standings. A win or a draw would put them into top 8. Allied Shinobi Forces 1 are already in top 8. Alright. Round start, Knuckles and Tails, not missing a beat, not missing a step. It allows for Tails to charge up so much power that he has gone for his 3000 power super, the Tails Gun Wave. Look at Yugito and Killer B's HP right now. Yugito and Killer B could still awaken into the Tail Beast. These are both Jinchuriki that are being used from A.S.F.1. Killer B going for his counter, sending out the knife toss, but here comes another Tails Gun Wave, and you gotta think A.S.F.1 are gonna lose round number 1. Allowing Tails way too much freedom to charge up power and go for 2 Tails gun waves in 1 round. A.S.F.1 on the back foot. Yugito and Killer B definitely should have, and I think could have, awakened in that last round, but they just did not decide to do any of that. Killer B starts off this round with the Biju Lariat, another Lariat sending in the Octopus Tentacle, or the Octopus Arms. Octopuses don't actually have tentacles, they actually have arms. Anyway, he gets interrupted. He tried to go for his substitution jutsu, it saves him momentarily. Meteor drop coming out from Killer B. Yugito is gonna enter the fight as well. The ink has been used against both Knuckles and Tails. Hold on, I believe Tails tried to go for his Tornado Jet, but it got interrupted by Killer B. He used Daibutsugiri or the knife speed attack, one or the other. Tails interrupting the knife speed attack, I think, from Killer B, but he's gonna get hit by the knife toss of Killer B. And Killer B and Yugito rectifying the wrongs that were done in the first round. Will we see an awakening from either Killer B or Yugito? Or both? Both can awaken, but only when they are below a certain amount of HP will their AI actually awaken. I thought the Biju Dama would intercept the super gun wave from Tails, but it did not. Yugito is on. She doesn't have a lot of HP left. Yugito does not have that much HP left. She's gonna go for Flying Tiger, I think. No, she's just going for regular combos. And Yugito and Killer be the healthier team of the 2. Knuckles using his counter. I think it actually hit both characters just now. Knuckles is down. It's just Tails left to fight Yugito and Killer B, and he's not going to be able to do that. Yugito and Killer B taking the 3rd round and taking the 1st game. Alright, then Yugito and Killer B coming from behind in terms of rounds. A.S.F.1 get another point on the board minimum. Sonic, since they lost the 1st game, will only get a point on the board maximum. Let's see if they'll be able to do that with the 2nd game. We'll have Silver and Amy go up against Yagura and Mei. Alright, Silver and Amy Rose going up against Yagura and Mei. Yagura should start with extra power because he is a Jinchuriki, but he does not. We'll let it rot though. We'll address that in another balance patch if we end up doing that. Sangosha has been used from Yagura. Let's just focus on him. Angry Roar into the Chakra Cannon. Amy and Silver have no idea what hit them. The Mizukage getting up close and personal, or I should just say Mei, because both Yagura and Mei are Mizukage. Yeah. So if I say Mizukage, I mean Mei. But I guess Yagura is also a Mizukage. Anyway, that was a perfect. Hold on, I have to write that down. Hold on. Where can I write that? Alright, so Yagura, I'm just gonna put a P here. Alright, they got a perfect, right? Alright, so Yagura and Mizukage have made their way onto the feats table because they pulled off a perfect victory against Silver and Amy Rose. So A.S.F.1 showing why they are indeed the top 8 team in this matchup. Yo Tonyo kind of, it's actually just her acid spit, her acid spray. Melting Mist has been used by May, which drains power. She's going to finish it off with the explosion, and Amy Rose is going to take most of that damage. A flipping combo coming out from Yagura into the Angry Roar. Silver is the last that's left for Team Sonic, but he goes down. Likewise, Amy, Yagura, and May are going to end up taking the second game 2-0. So with that surprising perfect in the first round and then a really swift second round, Yagura and May are going to take the second game in the set, which means that A.S.F.1 will walk away with 3 points. If you've enjoyed the matches so far, then you can check out all of the matches from Season 1 of Mugen League. Check out the link in the description or the playlist at the end of the video. You'll see a full list of all of the matches that I've done for Mugen League. Anyway, moving on into set number 2, which will have the Shichibukai go up against Orochimaru's Circle. For the first game, the Shichibukai will be represented by Boa Hancock and Bartholomew Kuma. Orochimaru's Circle for the first game will be represented by Kimimaro and Kabuto. The stage will be Izuru Kira x Makato Kibune. Kimimaro and Kabuto starting off with that 1500 power. Boa Hancock and Kuma start with none. A thing that I don't think I've mentioned too much or at all in Mugen League is that the One Piece characters, when they hit you or when they use their moves, they get more power than normal from using their moves and hitting you with moves. The only moves that don't really give them power are moves that cost power, like their specials and their supers or other mechanics that they might have. Boa Hancock has activated her dodge mode, which makes her immune to certain attacks, but not 100% of the time. She will still get hit from time to time. The dodge mode is done. Bone Shot being used by Kimimaro, 3000 power possessed by the members of Orochimaru's Circle. I believe Spike Cannon has been used, Bartholomew Kuma soaking all of that, but I think that was either Impossible Heart or Mero Mero Melo being used from Boa Hancock. Kabuto is strapped for power right now and HP as well. Pistol Kiss combo. Kabuto substitutes out of it. Kimimaro is going to awaken. He walks in using the tail slaps. Will we see the horns come out from the awakening state of Kimimaro? Hold on! Impossible Heart stealing the power, putting them into hit stun. Kabuto goes down. It's just Kimimaro. Here comes Slave Arrow, and that's going to be Boa Hancock and Bartholomew Kuma. A really close round there. But I think it was Hancock's Impossible Heart that put a stop to Kabuto and Kimimaru's special jutsu that they could use, because that move drains power. So if your power is drained, you cannot use any of your jutsu, or you can't really use any specials or supers. I should be more specific. Chakra Mesu connects against Bartholomew Kuma, fighting against Kabuto now, using the Samurai Stomps, trying to go for the Paw Strike or the Strong Paw Strike. Kabuto just a bit too squirrely. Kuma can't manage to land a hit against him. Kabuto is still there. Kabuto has substitutions, but to be honest, so does Kuma. He can teleport. Kabuto using the Feather Genjutsu to connect against Kuma, and you see Kuma does teleport there. Anyway, let's focus on the other set, the other side of the screen. Kimimaro going up against Hancock. Hancock falls for the Bone Guard, the Bone Counter of Kimimaro. Kimimaro now using the Swordsman trait, which he also has. Even though he does have a sword, he uses his bones as a sword, so he has the trait, plus he needed it. Trust me. Boa Hancock on low HP. She's gonna fall for the Spike Eruption counter. Kimimaro, she's already dead. Yeah, you gotta focus on Kuma, who is still alive. Kabuto is going to awaken, summon 2 Anbu, and then we're gonna have the Boneyard. The Boneyard summoning the Bone Eruption from Kimimaro, who gets hit by the Strong Paw Strike, but the 2 Anbu are going to be enough to finish off Bartholomew Kuma. It's 1-1 in terms of rounds between Kimimaro, Kabuto, Hancock, and Kuma. The final round start. How will this one end? We know how it starts. It starts with air combos from Kimimaro and Kabuto. Multi-stab being used mid-air. Here comes the Bone Charge. The Bone Shot. Hold on. Cyborg Laser. Back up just a second. Just a couple of feet backwards. And to be honest, Orochimaru Circle, if they're going to be 2 characters, it's probably going to be Boa Hancock and Kuma. Because let me tell you, I've looked at the second pair of characters for the Shichibukai. It ain't looking good for Orochimaru Circle in game number 2. So game number 1 is where they're going to try to have to get most of their points. Dodge mode has been activated by Hancock, using the Pistol Kiss, still jumping in air combos. Kimimaro stunned momentarily. Hancock not letting up. I think she tried to go for Impossible Heart, but Kimimaro woke up with a delayed wake up into the multi-stab. Kimimaro and Kabuto are going to end up taking the third and final round. It ended so quick. Anyway, Kimimaro and Kabuto take the third round. They get a point at minimum for Orochimaru Circle. And like I said, Orochimaru Circle probably just going to get that point because I don't think they're beating the next. I don't think they're beating the next pair. But let's move on into that match, shall we? We will have Do Flamingo and Crocodile go up against Jugo and Sasuke. Orochimaru's circle is probably going to get a draw at best because look who they're going up against. It's Doflamingo and Crocodile. Crocodile, one of the best 1v1 AIs. And I don't think Crocodile has lost a game in Mugen League thus far. Doflamingo has gotten destroyed like a lot. He performed so well in my experimental leagues. But in Mugen League, the actual Mugen League, it looks like he's just not as good. Anyway, Doflamingo and Crocodile actually at a life deficit right now. Crocodile using the poison hook, but getting outsped by the moves of Sasuke. Doflamingo using the fire shot. Quicksand has been used, and by the way, Crocodile was in his Logia mode. Another quicksand, followed by the aerial takedown of Doflamingo. Sasuke and Jugo on dire straits. Sasuke trying to retaliate with the Chidori into the Chidori Zenbone. Jugo is attacking. Crocodile is almost dead. White Snake summoning will finish off Crocodile. Can Jugo and Sasuke take the first game against both opponents? The White Snake has poisoned Doflamingo as well. And then the rock shots from the air of Jugo. Sasuke charging up his power so that Jugo could use the power. That's really clever. Really clever work there from Orochimaru Circle. I still think they're gonna get cooked. Yo, if bloody Orochimaru Circle can beat Doflamingo and Crocodile and get a win against the Shichibukai, that would be crazy. That would be like something I would never expect ever. Anyway, Crocodile used Grande Secco, which is his 3000. He's using it again. He's using it again. It's 3000. It's his 3000 power super, doing a lot of damage to Sasuke and Jugo. Sasuke about dead, getting hit by the combos of Doflamingo, who goes for full blight into the dive kick, and then the sand bomb coming out from Crocodile into the sand swords as well. See, this is what I was expecting from Crocodile and Doflamingo. Around like what just transpired. That's the kind of round I thought was going to happen. But anyway, Orochimaru Circle starting off with more power in this round. Chidori connects against both opponents. Nice work there from Sasuke, but Jugo gets hit by the Sand Spike. Sending in Rock, Sasuke using the Quick Slash combo, if you will, coming out. But hold on, Doflamingo has used his Black Knight, which summons a Doflamingo clone to do damage, while the real Doflamingo also does damage. It's double damage. Doflamingo gets hit by the White Snake Mirror Jutsu. Patsu the Seridiaru Kyauda is gonna finish off Sasuke. Will it? Yes, it will. The Sables also finished off Jugo. I'm telling you, bro, Doflamingo and Crocodile are crazy in Mugen League. But I will give Jugo and Sasuke some credit. They brought it down to a very fine margin, and they actually took a round against probably two of the best characters in Mugen League. Doflamingo, I understand his stats are not good, but trust me, this guy is good, bro. In my experimental leagues, Doflamingo was cooking everyone. Alright, so yeah. The result of that set will be a draw between the Shichibukai and Orochimaru Circle, which means Orochimaru Circle will not break top 8 this wave. They'll have to try again in the next wave, wave number 10. With all that being done, we have come to the end of this video. So as always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Leave a like for all the talk and subscribe for more and more content, and sound your voice in the comments. And like I said, if you want to watch all of the Mugen League matches in Season 1 thus far, you can go ahead, check out the playlist in the description or the playlist at the end of the video, whichever one you choose. Once again, thanks for watching, and have a good day, yeah?